First headlines. BJP's double-engine government has no engine oil. Engine needs to be changed. Demands be fulfilled within 7 days or else intense steer, warn Kaitel mothers. JNU Professor Dr. Bimol Akoizam calls for public assembly before September 3 to discuss Manipur crisis. And yet another volunteer injured in gunfight with Kuki terrorists at Naran Sena. Heavy firing continues. Hello, welcome to New TV. This is SURBALA MAIREMBAM giving you the latest news updates at this hour. Now the news in detail. Kaitel mothers have warned of launching intense steer if their government fails to fulfill various demands within 7 days. Khwairambam Ima Kaitel Joint Coordinating Committee for Peace has condemned the killing by Kuki terrorists just before the Manipur Legislative Assembly session, despite assurance from central government that there will be no more violence. Speaking at the sit-in at Ima Kaitel today, convener of the committee, Laishram Mema, vehemently condemned the firing by Kuki terrorists at farmers and warned the state and central government of intense agitations. She also demanded immediate withdrawal of all orders issued to arrest social worker Mayasur Thaunauzam by Assam Rifles. Doesn't the Assam Rifle officer who issued this order know the misconduct of Assam Rifles on women and their partisan attitude siding with the Kukis? Mema questioned. Expressing dissatisfaction at the governor who empathized and provided compensation to two Kuki women and at the same time remained silent when it comes to Meitei rape victims. She questioned if there is an ulterior motive behind the government's conduct. Mema also demanded release of Meiteis who were arrested in nude parade case if no action is going to be taken up against Kukis who are behind the rape of Meitei women. There seems to be no fuel left in the double-engine government of BJP, and it's time the parts of the engine are changed, contended Mema.
Aikoi Santi gi lambenda chauna la lenga kani la heloi soidana ingtapa lenga kama ohelani haidana thajaba pira i hairaga ngarang mak aikoi gi lomi singna low kumbada puki singna noi kapodna sihaliba sa si karamba ayingba manipura ma oheliba no haiba sa masidani aikoi na kandem tawri senga si puki militant singna noi kapase khudakta lephan ragade mama oibi kayana siba changba khangdana india government am dise government thakta soidana maki achoba lama lakani haibase warning se koi hana pijage ai koi gi ima ibenda natabalam chatana hariba midi phadraga nupi ani dura manipur gi governor na nupi moina 10 lakhs aina pidana nungai tabani ga hairaga ai koi gi nupi rape tawre masada rape tawre moi gi de rape tawdre adugumba rape tawre na moi uki meam na namdana hadra mafi lok tokta ijat mangalaba nupi du dadi no ma baba governor na hangdaba se governor gi karamba aronba agenda lai adu sumyam da kangan bi wai ba hajeninge aduga loinana aikoi gi rep tawriba mi singi kuki singje phadraba phaba ngamdrabadi aikoi gi anga singdo khudakta thadorao aduga moi gi rep tawri mi do pharaga di aikoi gi jokoi sinajage ba adu natara koi dana ichadana phabiraga moi gi na phadaba adugumba lujada ba thabak tawa democracy right masak kangdaba democracy bu utpai gumno uba sumba sarkar se yam thuna handoga democracy right to phangalu haiba ma kuki phadri ba se india government na noina tawbang hoide yai Maitai singna tawba yade haiba order ama lairagadi home minister amde prime minister amadi manipur gi semna ai boina imai bench da khudak ta sino sinari ba potu gi matungina koi chap chana stand tawraga madugi warep lauraga koi thabak chatharake miyam gi apa mani assembly phamadi ngasi gi tangdu laita draba wari ba kholi ba ai khoi miyam singse nongoi ka pa se lepane na harau jaruraga assembly haudringai da nongoi kaptana ai khoi gi lomi hatpi re ba Sinmi hatpi reba sidaida akoi gi state government amdi inda government na karamba sarok tomnaraga halino ba santi leire halal roi haraga aduga akoi gi state force injita na nongmi kapa yaroi haraga de kuki dana kapa yai na kuki na kapa padana yai haiba akhoi gi state force na nga age defense tauge haiba dana yaroi haiba si karamba aron ba agenda no aduna paliba sarkar national gi sarkar se BJP ga akhoi manipur gi BJP ga matam mamadadi double engine ni akhoi di khwai de na pharabani haire double engine do starting fail oire double engine gi engine do thau yautre aduna maram oiraga engine do lokthok piro part sindok che haiba chimaga thamjage part tu yadre haiba part tu yadre di leba kai re ba aduna maram oiraga yam thuna lokthok pio aduga ngasi khoina taliba dabi se isa maheshwar da su aduga manipur gi territory integrity da su tawra adi ngasi gi manipur lak ke gi 𝐖𝐈𝐓𝐇 sarkar gi mathakta achauba protest ba madu ngasi makti phongdo roi ngoina haiba khoina taliba demand sing se hapta magi manung da pangthok pirakta gi hapta ama tung da khoi myam manipur nupi puna mak khanaraga matam mamagi 𝐖𝐈𝐓 na khwangchet machi langaga amam balaitraba adugumba mi ne na chauthok ba British loilam lenga ki chachon da tan gi bado adumaina ima singna soidana thabak lokhalakani haiba wafam se ai thamjage.
Professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University, Delhi, Angomcha Bimol Akoizam has called upon all concerned to convene a public assembly before September 3, either at Kumalampak Stadium or Mapal Kangjibung, where politicians, CSO intellectuals, all concerned citizens and stakeholders express their views and come to a collective decision on the prevailing crisis of the state. Otherwise, people might take the law in their own hands and start targeting one another. Let's not take people's sentiment lightly, he warned. In a video message released yesterday, the professor expressed extreme disappointment at the elected members of the Manipur Legislative Assembly for their failure to discuss the prevailing situation in Manipur for the last nearly 4 months now, the suffering of the people and their anguish in the single-day assembly session yesterday. He said, Manipur has been facing an unprecedented crisis that was never seen before, not just in Manipur but in the entire country. In nearly 4 months of violence, scores of people have been killed. The silence of agony, anguish, and untold sufferings of people are filling up the sky everywhere. Despite all pain and misery, there are people still out there who are willing to sacrifice their life for an idea of Manipur. Notwithstanding their grievances, the conduct and action shown by the elected and representative members inside the House are highly unsolicited and uncalled for, he said. On the other hand, there are people who are prepared to break up Manipur at any opportune moment. Even the former Union Home Secretary is accusing the central government of siding with the mighties, which is actually different from the ground reality, Professor Bimol said, referring to a statement made by former Union Home Secretary Gopal Krishna Pillai in an interview with Karan Thapar for The Wire. Professor Bimol further said, it's not the time for party politics. If they truly care for the people, they would be able to cross Kangpokpi district and Kangbai in Chorchandpur district, which are not so far from the state capital, he said.
Angam mathau mayamna sifai 𝐖𝐈𝐓 mayamduna tawraga Kangpokpi bogdong chappiba ngamgadra Kangbai yoba ngamgidro Churachandpur yoraga mayam sigi pot mayam sta khoina tawrisi karino sine. What is that we are today 4 months sida tumin leinaraga karino khoina tawrisi haibagi potche masi I think miyam kanmam thoi masi sumna dana ngangum thokpane na ngangai ni mayam lowning balo aning bada khanbiu ka sukai micham moina haijabagi wani luching ba yaudaba machoi taba miyam na masa na khulai para masa ngakthok sa leire mino oida pa da haijal pasu karim to su khumangam de thoklei ba newspaper da home secretary oiram mana Indian state na maitai da support tawe kadai da tawri ba support no Indian Army ge Assam Rifle ge lady men complain tawri sa kadai bok chumi no mata ta de aduga hire na Indian state na maitai da mateng pangena sadora kani sona kanana lawu ubada no main kapsalakna masu si hai sibu kari haidong no isu khangaktrasi ora de do. I think our elected members, it's high time, it's my request inau su yaw biyai yam su yaw biyai khanabum de thoi wa su khara ngangbam thoi aduga leiri ba puna maksa mapang gi minu sitab ni aduga leiri ba mayam nu sitab gi type to tawraga di khoi si nungai na rak to man de last na mi ga phuna ba di la na khoi masen rak te heng na hing sar ka to ba man ba gi pot pot sum ur mitsida akoi masen ngakta aduga madugi fibam do yorok the kanana responsible ojono mina kumai yengaga leidori bra haibase I think asi munna khanbi bamam chungi thamari surani handak laiba tangma ahum sida kaige kayu kairo itu aduga akoi masen marakta yamna nungaina roi do bugi fibam lakpagi msu madugi mami su tabu ure mi atopagam no to manipur thugai ge na trokutu na tabida akoi masen marakta machoi tare se mase tawdaba phai aigi appeal haizo wairagadi angam mathau leipa ki luchingma mayam singna miam le risiga amata akhangai bureaucrat retire tawbadagi leiba college university mu gaina leiba mayam do kaukhatlaga openly ngangna ra kai khoina lowdaba firep ama lowba se masi lowba mama to assembly do na pare khanbi yaudra khanna udra su aigi mot matungina di politician mayam loi thokpiro aduga civil society university oza mayam pulap kauraga aikoi ge firep se phong na kangjai bungda assembly da na natabida kangjai bungdara khuman lampak stadium dara achobo meeting ama sinbiraga politicians inga miyangi oiba assembly ama tang sinbiyu tang ahum sigi mamang da handaki assembly do nataba tongan mama aduga manipur gi marai bakse maduna lepchara suno haibasi id hiding masi yora agadi assembly amokta sinbiyu khuman lampak da akoi chu ticket ka aga thoksarake manipur da leiba mapan pen da mayam phamin rakanda mayam akoi no logdo bo firep se karino haibase political party gi representative sing yaubiyu politician no yaubiyu CSO karikala noi tawraga khuman lampak te assembly amatang kobiyu aduga firep amte lausi kumai sum yang ngami su pangsi da siba aduga imphal da ge kilometer 3 kun lan manga mukta bida sum unjalaga leibagi phimam sidi yam thina soe masidi masi tawdana ba akoi ai gi appeal matungna di akhangai mayam to kokat piraga assembly amakak
The gun battle between Kuki terrorists and a joint team of village volunteers and state force that began yesterday in different parts of Bisnupur district, especially Naransena, 𝐃𝐄𝐿, Fubala and Tinungai, continue unabated. In Naransena, there are reports about guns and bombs being used in a battle. A 34-year-old village volunteer, 𝐿𝐈𝐓𝐇 of 𝐁𝐈𝐈𝐋𝐿, was hit in the head by a bullet during the fierce battle and is being treated at Ras Medicity Hospital. The bullet that hit 𝐿𝐈𝐓𝐇 had reflected from a helmet from another village volunteer. The fierce gun battle continues even as we bring you this report. Effigies of government leaders were tortured Singzamay last night against failure of the government to take a stand to protect the integrity of Manipur. Anguished people of Singzamay area, spearheaded by Singzamay Apunbalup SAL, burned the effigies of Governor, Chief Minister, Speaker, President of BJP Manipur Pradesh and BJP Northeast in charge Sambit Patra. The people took out to a street against the 11-minute assembly session held yesterday, which they alleged was convened only to save their seats. They also shouted various slogans against the inaction of the government in resolving the 4-month-old violence triggered by Kuki terrorists, in which mighty civilians are being killed by the Kuki terrorists. A press statement issued by Governor of Singzamay Convener of Singzamay Apunbalup SAL, 𝐃𝐿 said, civil society organizations and people of the state had been demanding an emergency session of the state assembly be convened to bring a solution to the ethnic violence and to take resolution to protect the territorial integrity of Manipur and to provide a constitutional safeguard. However, the assembly that hardly lasted for 11 minutes is evident of the fact that the BJP government is least bothered by the death, loss, the properties and the sufferings of the people and is turning a deaf ear to the voice of the people. As such, the effigies of these incompetent leaders were set on fire, the statement added. It further maintained that it will be prudent for such incapable leaders who are only after their seats to resign, saying that a joint meeting of SAL and Coordinating Committee of 27 Assembly Constituency will be held at 4 p.m. on August 31 to discuss the prevailing issue in the state. SAL appealed to clubs, organization, MAIREMBAM loops and CSOs of Singzamay to attend the meeting. Government Kuki MLAs have issued a clarification regarding their absence from the assembly session held yesterday. According to the clarification, the MLAs said that as per procedural requirement, they had to apply for leave. They also reiterated their stand on demand for a separate administration and said they will continue to work with their people to achieve their political goal till the end. The MLAs also appealed to their people to remain calm and continue to support them in their fight for achieving a common political goal. Rizal Institute of Medical Sciences (RIMS) Imphal organized a free medical camp at Thangjing Sindam Sanglen, Moirang today. The program was flagged off by Medical Superintendent of RIMS Professor N. Sanjeev and CAOFA of RIMS S. Sarat from RIMS OPT block, a team of specialist doctors from departments of medicine, ENT, ophthalmology, obstetrics and gynecology, dermatology and clinical psychology departments gave treatment and counseling to around 800 patients during the camp. Free medicines were also distributed to patients on the occasion. RIMS will also organize a series of free medical camps for internally displaced persons at different affected places.
Organized free medical camps city sector size Seva organization na Moirang Unit facilitate for Viraganda for the support Viraganda MC organized Javani director 𝐃𝐄𝐈𝐋𝐷 Professor Sunil Kumar Sharma and medical superintendent Professor Sanjeev and Senior Account Officer Sarat Singh and our deputy director Kumar Naurem. RIMS authority officers Singh advice Matungina doctors team, nurse team, non-teaching team na punna tawdanda ngasi medical KMC internet displaced persons sing lunch na marmorekanda selector laiba Chinuwa Singh Sejan Singh alamani 𝐃𝐄𝐿𝐈 ine-enroll people mayam si punna RIMS ki maikaidagi kijiktan aikoina angamba medical aspect dagi si aikoina dag yan thokchadana fee dag yan thokchadana mayam da aikoina angamba kitang honajabani.
The situation in the state was intense with sporadic incident of firing and a congregation of protesters during the last 24 hours. According to report from control room of Manipur police, search operations were conducted in the fringe and vulnerable areas of Bisnupur, Kakching, Churachandpur and Thawal district. One armed 20 ammunition and 7 explosives were recovered from Bisnupur and Thawal district during the operation. Firing between armed miscreants occurred in the adjoining villages of Naransena, in which 2 persons succumbed to injuries while 7 persons sustained bullet injuries, the report said. A total of 130 checkpoints were installed in different districts of Manipur, both in the hills and the valley, and police detained 2,015 persons in connection with violations in different districts of the state, the report added. India's moon rover Pragyan has found the presence of oxygen, aluminum, sulfur and other elements near the lunar South Pole, the Indian Space Research Organization said on Tuesday. Investigation regarding the presence of hydrogen is underway, the Indian Space Agency added. According to ISRO, the laser-induced breakdown spectroscopy LIBS instrument on board Chandrayaan-3 rover has made the first ever in situ measurements on the elemental composition of the lunar surface near the South Pole. This in situ measurement confirmed the presence of sulfur in the region unambiguously, something that was not feasible by the instrument on board the orbiters. LIBS is a scientific technique that analyzes the composition of materials by exposing them to intense laser pulses. According to ISRO, preliminary analysis have unveiled the presence of aluminum, sulfur, calcium, iron, chromium and titanium on the lunar surface. Further measurements have revealed the presence of manganese, silicon and oxygen. The government has decided to reduce the prices of domestic LPG cylinder by 200 rupees per cylinder for all consumers. A decision in this regard was taken in the Union Cabinet meeting in New Delhi on August 28. Briefing Media Union Information and Broadcasting Minister Anurag Singh Thakur said this across-the-board reduction is in addition to the existing targeted subsidy of 200 rupees per cylinder to the Pradhan Mantri Ujjwala Yojana household, which will continue. Now the benefit for Ujjwala beneficiary stands at 400 rupees per LPG cylinder. In Delhi, the decision will bring down the cost of 14.2 kg cylinder from the existing 1,103 rupees per cylinder to a more affordable 903 rupees per cylinder. Therefore, the effective price of Ujala beneficiaries in Delhi after this reduction will be 703 rupees per cylinder. The minister also informed that the government has decided to provide 75 lakh new LPG connection for free under the Ujala scheme to women from poor households who do not have an LPG connection. Now the headlines once again. BJP's double-engine government has no engine oil. Engine needs to be changed, demands be fulfilled within 7 days, or else intense steer, warned Kaitian mothers. JNU Professor Dr. Bimol Akoizam calls for public assembly before September 3 to discuss Manipur crisis. And yet another volunteer injured in a gunfight with Kuki terrorists at Naran Sena. Heavy firing continues. And that's all we have for now, but for more news update, keep watching newtv. Have a nice day.